Gundam.tk presents Wing Gundam. Hey, how you doing everybody? This is Robert184 from gundam.tk and I'm back with part 7 of my review of the Master Grade Wing Gundam. Don't forget to check out all the earlier parts for the box, details, instructions, plates, and the actual mobile suit itself. But now it's time to actually get this thing transformed and see if its bird mode is up to the high standard so far that the mobile suit has already set. And don't forget to stay tuned for the next part with my final conclusions. So for transforming it from this into this, you're just going to flip to the back of the instruction manual, and the transformation starts here, and it goes on for one page, and then that just wraps it up. So very simple transformation looks like overall. The first part of the transformation is just to spin the head around, and then with the lower body, because it's on this double ball joint waist mechanism, you just sort of pop that down, and then it may get in the way a little bit of the skirt armor, and then you push it down again after you've flipped the legs around 180 degrees. The next thing to do is to slide these shoulder mechanisms, which you can see up here it has a mark on there, so it's not going to be all ugly gray parts when you do that, and then bring the shoulders slightly towards the front of the chest. And the reason you do that, though it may be a little bit hard to see, is that with the skirt armor, which you flip up, there's a small indent there and there's a peg at the bottom of the shoulders, and you bring that up and you lock that into place, which is a huge improvement over the high grade. Next, for the arm, you're just going to bring it slightly forward here, and then if you open up this back part, you'll notice that as you spin down the claw here, that this part that holds on the fists, which you should have removed, will disappear. And then you lock that into place, and then you bend that down. It's not really going to be clear how to do that. But anyway, you keep that elbow there, and you bring this forward, and once you do that, you should get this kind of a claw effect. And then you're able to take this shoulder down, and it actually seems to stay in place fairly well. Getting the legs lined up just right can be a little bit tricky, but anyway, you start by bringing this back, and if this kneecap is forward, if you bend it like that, you should feel that the foot pulls into the leg, and then once you've done that, you sort of just pivot it around here, and anyway, what you do is you bring the leg forward and just lock this under the skirt, and everything stays in place fairly well after you've put the foot down. Here's what we've got so far with the undercarriage, and then the head poking out on the front, which we're going to cover up now with the shield. To put the Buster rifle in place, you just get rid of this, and then when you line it up to put it inside here, you're going to plug this part into this white part, and you'll notice that once you put it in, you can actually slide it forward and lock it into place. You also move the shield mechanisms inside, down, and then just get this part out of the way as well. Before getting the wings set up, all you have to do is plug in these two parts into the back of the backpack. And please provide your own sound effects as the bird mode whooshes by. So here's my first look at it together all in bird mode, and the first thing that you'll notice, of course, is that the legs are not quite able to keep it sitting upwards. So anyway, you're going to have to do some fiddling with that, or just put it on an action base as they suggest if you want to have this in a cool aerial pose. But so far I think the colors are pretty good, and especially with the way the legs fold up and the way the skirt armor goes up over the insides under the armpits, it actually hides the fact that it's a Gundam better than I expected. Let me just zoom this past you so you can see it all put together. The Buster rifle actually suits the shield and looks pretty good. The chest and the head are clearly visible if you look at it from underneath. The thrusters do go backwards, and the legs also have those additional thrusters. And if you give this the old shake test, really you hardly hear anything because the legs are all folded up as much as they can be, and everything seems to want to stay in place. To put this on the action base, you're just going to flip up the rear skirt armor, and in the same place that you attached it for mobile suit mode, just put on this special attachment for the action base. So completely elevated here on the action base, you can get the effect of how thin it is, and there's just a little bit of a shot of the top. And while it's not that bad, if you compare it to something like the Master Grade Zeta or something, when you put it on its display stand in Wave Rider mode, anyway, this one just sort of comes across as being very, very small and skinny. But from the top or bottom, well, from the top anyway, it doesn't look too bad, I would say. And if you angle it shooting upwards, it doesn't look too bad. The only problem being is that it's very easy to see the Gundam undercarriage underneath. So this is one of my stranger height comparisons, but here we have the master grade, and here we have the high grade 1/100th. Here's the top of the two. You really notice the lining there, and you do have the red parts split back there. But here, because you're able to split the wings, these wings just look that much bigger, in addition to the fact that they are that much longer. But overall, this one, just the colors seem to pop out a lot better than they do on this one, although this one does not have green effect parts. On the undersides, I would say that this one, because the skirt is here, you're actually able to get a little bit more balance, because depending on the way you angle the feet and the legs. With this one, really you don't have a lot of balance points, which suggests, of course, that it was built to be designed on an action base, but also just the details underneath, like inside the shield here, compared to inside that big red block. Yeah, certainly the underside of the Master Grade looks a lot better in my eyes anyway. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. I'll wrap up my review of the transformation part there, but don't forget to stay tuned for my final thoughts and my judgment on this whole thing. And of course, I'm sure you've got your own ideas, so why don't you let me know with a comment, and if you like the video, hit like, and if you want to see more videos, hit subscribe. Anyway, everybody, Robert184, gundam.tk. Thanks for watching.